We were on one of the larger vessels. We had 23 people on board, but it was a 22-metre vessel, so it was relatively cramped. We knew they were going to intercept us the night before. We'd been jammed, our GPS, things like that. And then the night of, we knew it was going to happen. It was a little bit earlier in the night than we expected, but originally we saw the lights on the horizon. We had reports of a vessel leaving Ashdod. And we saw the lights on the horizon, saw them getting closer. They attacked Alma first. We went past, and they're jamming the GPS. A lot of the boats they had water guns, water cannons. When they actually boarded, they came on our port side. I was sat on the starboard side, so I couldn't see them actually board. But said in the other interview, it's quite comical. They couldn't even stand upright on the boat. Clearly didn't have any sea legs. They took control of the vessel. We were all sat very peacefully, arms in the air. They did body searches of us, and then they called for me by name. They thought I was the captain. They were convinced. Then no one said anything, so they checked all the women's passports on board. Eventually got to me, I was the last one. So they convinced I was the captain. Asking me again and again, are you the captain? I said no. Then they'd broken all the Starlink and the cameras by that point. They then took us downstairs, put us into cabins, so a double bed, there was 5 of us. I didn't sleep throughout the night. I wanted to stay up and see everything. Got used to no sleep at that point. And they came down. They couldn't figure out how to work the engines or the autopilot or anything. Wow. So again, they came into the cabin I was in and said, "You're the captain." I was like, "No." Started to get a little bit aggressive. So I was like, "Okay, I'm not the captain, but I'll come with you." Showed them how to click accept on the autopilot system. And then again, they were so incompetent. We got boarded a second time with more competent crew who were a bit rougher. You could see the hatred in their eyes. And then, it got taken to Ashdod. So I think we expected what was going to happen. It happened pretty much as we thought. There wasn't really any fear on board.
No fear?
Not particularly. We were very calm, collected. We knew what we wanted to do. We had our drill in place. And again, they were so incompetent that they had their sort of textbook scare tactics that, because they were so textbook, weren't particularly threatening. It wasn't, I try to think of the words, but it wasn't anywhere near as scary as I thought it would be. There was moments of fear, as I say, when they were calling me by name and what have you, but it could have been a lot worse. There were reports on other boats, people were zip-tied, dragged around, more violence, but on our boat there wasn't so much of it.
Was there a scary part at all in the whole time when you were there? What was what scariest things? What thing really shocked you in that time?
I had a few moments. I say when they called me by name on the boat, that was a bit of a heart raiser. In the prison, they took me out the cell alone and didn't tell me where I was going. And sort of given my background, my profile, I was like, where am I going? I had no idea. Again, at that point, I was so dehydrated, everything was just spinning. So that was a little bit scary. And boarding the plane to Istanbul, I thought, is the plane going to be shot down? That went through my mind. But I think the biggest fear, because we've been cut off from the world, we lost our phones, we lost everything. Say they stole my EpiPen from me. Literally everything's gone. And I was a bit like, what if it's for nothing? Because we had no idea what had been going on. That bit was a little bit sort of scary of if it's not for nothing and Palestinian people continue to suffer with no platform to amplify their voices. But that was mainly it. So. And
you had terrible drinking water. We've heard stories about this. And what about food and stuff? What would they come out with that?
So I've been on hunger strike. I haven't eaten since before we got intercepted. I don't know what day it is today, actually.
Sunday.
What's the date? Sorry.
Oh, the 5th.
Okay, if it's the 5th. Yeah, I haven't eaten since the 1st. But I didn't get offered any food in prison. They refused to give us water. Refused to give us sanitary products. They refused everything. There were people in the cell with heart conditions. So someone, passed out for 8 hours of the day, and they refused to even come look at her. So they were awful on that front.
The thing about this is the media haven't been reporting. I mean, we've been hearing stories about Greta Thunberg being tortured effectively by being dragged around, made to wear Israel flag, and other things like that. The media, the BBC haven't even reported it. But if she was on a plane coming back and someone took a picture of her, they'd have made a story.
Yeah.
How important is it that the media actually tell this story of what happened? I mean, you're coming out here and quite cold, giving lots of interviews, but it's so important, isn't it, that it's not just that you tried this attempt to get food there, but that it's actually bloody reported as well.
Yeah, and that's where the media is so complicit in this, and it's where we can all very clearly see now the news is a business. The only reason people have started reporting on it now is that pictures of white people in a cafe or on a boat and pictures of starving babies sell, and unfortunately that's the world we live in. I don't know where it got. I was literally talking to a BBC reporter as we got intercepted, as I threw my phone over the side of the boat. I have no idea where that's gone, but for the BBC not to be here, I think is shameful, massively shameful, and all the big media outlets, not just them, but to completely lost the point of a news and journalism and reporting on what actually happened is terrible. I say all the BBC articles, the sort of Western media articles that I saw, all of them was about Greta, and at the end of the day she became just a participant like the rest of us, and it's still all about her, not about why we're going, not about the cause, not about the reasons that we have to do that, and the failure of massive institutions as to why we're there and why there's going to have to be repeat attempts. I think it's shameful.
And I mean, what you've said to me would be a traumatic experience. Definitely, I could never just come off the plane and be chilled. What are you planning to do to recuperate from this? Because I mean, it's not just the physical and not eating as well. I mean, you must be quite, I don't know how you feel in your head, but what are your plans for the next week?
First and foremost, sleep. I've been functioning on, I think I worked out about 3.5 hours a day for the last 5 weeks. I haven't eaten in how many days? We just said 4 days. Still dehydrated. I'm still ill. I'm taking medication from drinking the water. So I think for me it's rest for a couple of days, get some food in me. I want to find out what the impact has been and what there is to do next, I guess. Psychologically I feel I'm pretty good. They did a psychological analysis on us in Turkey. In Turkey. They were very, very good. Every bruise I had, they took a picture of to document everything. I think it's a little bit of processing, a little bit of reaching out. A lot of Palestinians messaging us every day, so reaching out to them, seeing how they're doing. Figuring out what's next. So I lost my job to do the flotilla. I had to resign. So finding a new career is probably...
What sort of work were you doing?
I was working as a research scientist within defence, and morally couldn't continue. I had to hand my notice in to take part. So a few things to figure out.
I hope we can help you to find a new career and stuff, because it's great what you've done, and I feel I could never have done it. I went on the 10th to March, but I know I couldn't have got through that desert. I mean, you went on that flotilla for all those days, and what you faced in the prison and not eating and going on hunger strike. I mean, seriously, well done. And
it's nothing to what people have been going. It's nothing to what people have been going through for generations. The treatment we had was poor. Absolutely, it was terrible. Like I say, they stole my EpiPen. I said it's an unknown allergy. I could die. They said we don't care. It's that kind of attitude. And it's still nothing compared to what Palestinians have endured for absolute generations. And they are the most beautiful people. Like, the messages we were getting from them was saying, I hope you stay safe. All about our safety when they're being bombarded every day, which I can't comprehend how they're that strong and that warm as people still after everything they've been through. So it may have been bad, but it's nowhere near as bad as what they've been through.